we go again.
Ace Kennedy, my brother from another mother.
What's good, bro?
Hey man, you gotta fill me in. Fill me in, please, on this FIFA World Cup.
Uh, well, three of the big dogs went down yesterday, or I don't know about yesterday, but maybe within the last couple of days. Mexico lost, uh, and I heard that was probably one of the best games in the tournament. The boy Ronaldo lost, and then the USA lost yesterday. They got
Mm.
they got their anuses handed to them, bro. 4-1.
Hey, listen, man. Listen, this was funny. I'm not at all like I don't follow soccer like that. But every time I kept looking on my phone, I'm just they didn't got scored on again, scored on again,
But this
scored on
this
again, bro.
this is the thing, right? I've been listening to some pundits, and they talking about, oh, we finally got to see what the real, this is what the USA really looks like. You know what I'm saying? Like this is who we know. And oh, Belgium is just so much better. And this is the thing, bro. It wasn't that Belgium was that much better. We literally had a bad game, and you can't have a bad game when it's win or go home. You just can't. And we had a bad game. This is what I mean by bad game, and you'll understand this from a perspective. There's a goalie box, right? And inside the goalie box, if the opposing team kicks the ball in that goalie box, the goalie can pick it up with his hands. Well, if you decide to leave that box, then you can't pick it up with your hands. Well, the opposing team was dribbling the ball, and the ball went a little bit further than the guy. So the goalie came out, and instead of just kicking the ball out, he does some little fumbly thing and then finally kicks it. Well, then the goal is completely open. So another person from the opposite team just kicks it, and there's an open goal because there was a defender back, but he ain't touched the ball. So just little bitty dumb mistakes like that. Then I got people was all over me. I had posted on a game that didn't mean nothing to the USA, right? And I said, we're never gonna win the World Cup if we can't even do the basic 101 of soccer, which is cover the back door. If somebody is kicking a corner kick, they're crossing the ball across the field, there's going to be runners. How you not have nobody covering the runners is beyond me. But that same thing came back and bit us in the butt. This particular game, that does mean something. That's how they scored their second goal. So, yeah. And then
I think that's the one thing that
Pulisic, who is
you
our
hold on. You said wait, you said something that was interesting. You said that in soccer, if you run out of the box, you can't hold it. You can't grab it with your hand. So you mean outside of the big square, the big
big square.
printed
Right,
one.
right.
That makes sense because you're not in your goalie range then, right? It's just you
Right.
have to kick it there at
So
that
you
point.
just kick it out. So what? I don't know what he did. Like he kind of stuttered real quick. It's like, bro, if you're coming out the box and you can't pick it up, you got to get rid of it. Like that's just you just get rid of it. And he had a complete blank. If you go back and rewatch the play now that I've explained that, you're gonna see it and be like, what? Why he just didn't kick it? Like that's kickball right there. Somebody rolling the ball, you just kick it. You just kick it, and he didn't. So that happened. Pulisic, who is our best player, he ain't been right the whole World Cup, and he was out there non-effective. Then he got hurt again. So we got all these different things going on. So it wasn't that Belgium was just that much better than us. It literally was them boys just did not play a good game at all. So yeah, it was crazy. And like I said, Ronaldo, the reason why that was such a big deal was because I guess he said he's no longer gonna play for the World Cup. Like this was his last one. So he was super emotional after they lost. So it's just been it's been a great games because it's everything has been exciting. Like just even outside of watching, other games, it's been great to just see people just enjoying the sport and seeing all the renewed, even people who don't watch soccer, but just like, look, I want Team USA to win just because that's my country. And then, us being the host country too, that does help. So this was a complete away game for Belgium, and they still was out there just doing any and everything they wanted to do. And like I said, 4 goals though, bro. Like we only let four goals happen this whole tournament. And yesterday we let 4 goals in one time this game. That's what was crazy. So and then of course the big controversy was because a lot of people had been reporting that Donald Trump is the one that made the call to get Balogun back because he was suspended. He had a red card last game. And so the red card means you're suspended for that game, but then the following game coming up, you're also suspended. But just as much as I
Listen, this is the thing that just what the hell does he have to do with anything though, bro? Like this is my thing. That is one of the things you already know how I already feel about him. But the
right.
fact that the thing that makes me so mad, right, is like what does that have to do with you? Like what he seemed like he was so proud to say, "Hey, I made that call to get him on out there." And I'm just like, bro, that has nothing. Like, stay in your, try to stay in your lane. Like, bro,
But
that made me so mad that,
here's the thing though. It was such a
and it didn't do
non-story.
nothing because they still got walked.
No, it didn't do anything, but even still him being out there, it was a non-story. The point was the referee got the call wrong. Anybody who saw it, like, and the bad part is you reviewed it. That's the bad part. You went and reviewed it, and you still got it wrong. So, you know, I understand from Belgium's perspective. It's like, look, bro, if the man was deemed ineligible, then he shouldn't be able to play. Period. I heard they try to put in a they try to appeal the lift of him being able to play, and that got denied. But like you said, it didn't have any merit on the game at all.
So who are the heavyweights left that we should be checking for? Argentina?
Argentina, Argentina, because Brazil got put
Are they
out too.
usually? Yeah, I saw Brazil got put out. Is Argentina like typically are they the favorites? I mean, they got Messi, but are they the favorites?
That's exactly what you just said. Is it? It's like if LeBron was playing, like regardless of what team
Mm.
he's playing for, it's Messi. That's why, and it's like Ronaldo. Ronaldo was playing, so everybody was looking for Portugal to do something. So I don't keep up with like the world rankings to know like, oh, this person is, because I mean I heard some pundits again talking about like the actual people we actually beat, that they weren't really good teams or whatever. But again, if
Yeah.
we would have lost to them, then what would that, you know what I'm saying? You're supposed to beat the teams you're supposed to beat. So
Well, here's the thing that I this is the thing that I think that is interesting about this. So two things that I think is funny. I am looking here, and the guy, and again, bro, I don't follow soccer whatsoever. I just know that Messi plays for Miami, and that's it. I couldn't even name. I'm such a casual. I couldn't name another person. Freddie Adu. I remember he was like the 15-year-old phenom. I don't know anybody else. But listen, with that being said, though, bro, I was not aware that all of these other European teams specifically had so many black players out there, bro. Like I think that, but what is interesting, even the Caribbean teams, the South American teams, have their fair share of black folks out there. One of the things I think that is interesting, bro, and this is just something that I've just always heard in general about Argentina. I think that Argentina, as it relates to Latin America and South America, they try their best to be as European as possible. And they seem like it seems like Argentinians from what and this is I get my sources from TikTok, by the way, but thoroughly vetted. But they've always felt like the Argentinians kind of look at themselves like they're above all of the other South American and Caribbean other nations, though, right? And so
Mhm.
they're like uppity, but they try to. It's almost like how, like one of the things that's interesting is that, like, I've seen like Dominicans that are black to me, but then they be like, I ain't black. You know what I'm saying? And so the Argentinians are ones that be like, nah, we try to be more European, and they went hard at it though, right? So while all of these other European nations that are out here represented, I mean, even the Japanese have a goalie that's a black dude out there, right? And I'm
Yeah.
looking at all of these teams got brothers, and Argentina is the only one that don't know, bro. But is that something that make, like, again? I don't know. I'm less than a casual.
Bro, your whole thing was breaking up. You said you were
I was
such a
just dropping some. I was dropping some jewels on that. Listen, as someone who is very much a casual, I
Mhm.
saw a lot of black players on a
Yeah.
lot of European teams,
Yeah,
a
yeah.
lot of South American teams, Latin American teams, what have you, right? In addition to the African teams, that goes without saying. But I'm blown away though, bro, that Argentina isn't one, because I've always heard stuff about Argentina feeling like they're uppity anyway, though, right? But my thing
Mhm.
is this though, bro, is that something that maybe I just, as a cat less than casual, did I just not know that there are so many. Sweden and Switzerland had like six black dudes on the field though, bro. Like, when did this happen?
Bro, I couldn't even tell you. I mean, like I said, I don't keep up with the international play like that. I just get really excited about the World Cup. So it was shocking. So yeah. And listen, they were good though.
Yeah, yeah. I don't know. So who? So I'm assuming Argentina though still is the favorite to win. Is there who else? Who else should we be looking out for?
England.
Really?
Yes. Yeah, let me see who's even left. Let's even see who's left.
Yeah, because I would imagine though, bro, that, listen, man, I know this is the one thing I do find to be interesting. For the United States to lose to a country as small as Belgium, seeing that our population is probably 100 times more people they probably have, though, bro. I think that it is crazy to me, not crazy to me, it is interesting to me that their absolute best players that they have athletically play soccer. And I still just, it ain't like a, US thing still, though, bro. But I wonder, do you think that that's the reason why? I mean, sure, you had those kind of fluke things, but is it the reason why the United States don't really go like the United States soccer athletes? They don't have like those, the Messis of the world and all these other players, the Ronaldos that I'm aware of. Even England has, has some of their guys that are pretty worldwidely known, though, right? And none that I know of. Maybe the one guy with the cool little tiger tattoo on his forearm. That's it.
Now, I mean, Pulisic was supposed to be that guy. And again, I don't know him like that. Like I don't, you know what I'm saying? But um Norway got a dude that he was the dude that put Brazil out. And Brazil has what, NATO, whatever his name is. And uh yeah. That dude from Norway. Norway's a sleeper team. But who's left is France, Morocco, Spain, Belgium, Norway, England, Argentina, and Switzerland. So everybody's kind of thinking Argentina's gonna beat Switzerland. It's a toss up with the, like, I think most people think England will beat Norway, but like I said, Norway's a sleeper. Spain over Belgium, and then France over Morocco. So we shall
That is
see.
no. Yeah, that's gonna be interesting though, man. Hey,
Yeah.
listen, the NBA, since we last met though, man, Giannis finally got traded to Miami.
Hmm.
And LeBron James walked away, parted ways from the Lakers, though, bro. I gotta ask you, man, of all of the trades, it's a two-part question. Which one of the trades was the most surprising to you?
The most surprising trade was Melo to uh,
Hmm.
go out there with Ant. That's the most surprising.
Now the other part to you is for you is which one of those do you think is going to be the most impactful?
Oh, easily the most impactful trade is going to be Jalen Brown to the 76ers.
Listen, I'm gonna tell you this. I thought that that was the most shocking trade. Not, and I say that for this. Let me qualify.
Okay.
We all knew it was going to happen, right? We all knew that he was at some point he was going to get traded. I mean, they've been dangling him out there for ever, and they've been making it public that they were. I think that what's shocking to me about it is not the fact that it happened, but the fact that it was for Paul George, right?
Yeah.
That it was for Paul George and it was in your division. So it ain't like you sent them out west because we were just also thinking like, oh, okay, yeah, there are some teams that he would go for, that he'd be good. And everybody's kind of always have said Jalen Brown wants to have it to where he is the team's number one option. I'm looking at Philly though, bro. And Philly looks like he might be 1A, 1B again, though, right? Because that is clearly to me Tyrese Maxey's team after him coming off of an all-star season.
No,
So
not at all.
maybe
Not at all.
after all, that's not even a thing for him, though. But I think that it's just surprising to me that after the trade talks of you trying to get Giannis, right, for him, that's what you got. Like that's the part that was the most surprising to me.
Yeah, but the trade itself wasn't surprising because we all knew he was going to have to be traded after being trade bait for two, excuse me, top players. You got to trade him after that. When Boston is basically like, look, everybody on our team is tradable. That's not named Jason Tatum. Then, nah, bro, you can't. There's no coming back from that. And here's the crazy thing: is Jalen Brown didn't even ask for a trade, even after.
Never asked for a trade. Never asked for a trade.
It's just the media was so adamant, like, nah, bro, he got to get up out of there. He got to get up out of there. But the Melo trade, to me, it's like it was almost like the Hornets was like, look, this boy Melo had the best season he could possibly have. And the trade, the trade, like they weren't even shopping him. They was just getting calls for him. So then they was like,
Yeah.
well, shoot, we might as well just move on. And you know, we already kind of rebuilding, and let's put the face of the league for us on the boy Kyle Knipple, and let's just put some pieces around him and do this thing. So that was, to me, was the most shocking trade. And it was shocking to me because like you gave up who you gave up to get him. Like that, it's just like that's not gonna fix Minnesota's problems. That created some more problems, to be honest. Um, and then it's just like, you
That's,
know, yeah,
see, I think that this is the thing. I think that the big thing to me is that I've always thought that Mike Conley was a very serviceable point guard. But I think that the one thing that you and I talked about this is, God, I think what I have no idea why I'm yawning so much, though, bro. But you and I mentioned this before, and I've mentioned to you several times. I don't know if how LaMelo Ball plays basketball, if that's winning basketball. Like, granted, they got to the playoffs and everything like that, but I just think that his style of play, I just wonder if that's conducive to winning basketball games. All right. And but the tricky part about it is I think that while Minnesota has all of these ancillary parts though, bro, it was clear that they were missing a point guard. And LaMelo Ball can make he can be a playmaking player. I just wonder when his offense, like we'll see if it translates to winning, because now the expectation is winning. I don't know that in the past that it was like the expectation is for us to build. Well, this is a ready-made team, though, right? And so I just wonder, if he is a player that you would suit up for a ready-made team. So that's where I am with him on that, though, bro. And I think that because of that, though, it's the impact. I think that his trade is probably going to be the most impactful one because I think that because Minnesota went all in on trying to go ahead and go, they're really thinking that this is it. So either it takes you to the next level or it takes you back, it takes you out of it. And I think that for you, I agree with you when it comes to the Hornets, though, bro. Um, it's like I say that the Hornets because again he was the face, and now they got somebody else who they think they could be the face. The only other one that I think could be a very who could be a who I thought would have been an more impactful trade would have been Giannis going to Miami, and I think that I thought that when Giannis went to Miami that they were also going to keep what's your boy Norman Powell.
Yeah.
Well, they let him go to the Bulls. And so now I'm thinking like, well, you already have to fill big holes around your team with you having Bam and Giannis there as your anchor. Cool. But now I'm just kind of like, well, damn, you don't even got Brad. He was an all-star. Your best shooter, he's gone. So I don't know,
That's
man. I
that's
think
and that's exactly why for me that wasn't that big of a deal. I was like Perk.
it
I
was
saw he got traded to the Heat and went right back to sleep. Like, okay, it didn't move any needle. I actually had an interesting
no.
conversation with Phil. I said, bro, because he was like, yo, I think the Raptors getting Kawhi is gonna change the game. I said, it ain't. I said, listen, bro, our old heroes don't move the needle like they used to anymore. He said, what are you talking about? I said, listen, the only person that had any impact that's the old from the old school is LeBron.
Ramon James.
I said, listen, LeBron going to the Cavs. I said, name a team in the East that got so much better that they're going to remove the Cavs from where they are from last year. I said, because without LeBron, look where they got. So who got better? And he was like, well, Phil. I said, no, we know Philly is going to the top with the Jaylen Brown, but I'm saying who else got better enough that's going to bump them out? Because the Miami trade, as presently constructed, is doing nothing. I said, Kawhi to the Raptors is not going to do what you think it's going to do. And I'm like, I said, KD didn't do nothing. Joker didn't do nothing. Kawhi didn't do nothing. Steph Curry didn't do nothing. Luka didn't do nothing. The only person that Giannis didn't do nothing. The only person that did something was LeBron. He the only one that's still moving the needle. Everybody else, because do I think if the Detroit trade with KD going to Detroit, I do think that will be impactful.
With KD going to Detroit, what you mean?
You haven't been hearing the rumors?
I haven't seen anything concrete now, but I did hear KD say it would be something to play with him though. I don't like when players make them comments.
No. There's been so when they first started having conversations, that trade was actually supposed to be included in the Jaylen Brown trade. They just somehow got it to work without it. But yeah, it was supposed to be something like a three-team trade that would have ended him being in Detroit. So now they're continuing to have those talks outside of that trade. So yeah. What's our boys? 520 anywhere. With Jeff Teague.
Yeah.
They've been talking about it. Club Shay them, Nightcap been talking about it. Like it's catching some steam. That boy KD might be on the move to Detroit, bro.
And listen, man, KD goes to Detroit.
I like it.
I do because it makes KD the number 2. He doesn't have to lead nobody because they got their coach as a leader and they got Cade as the clear leader.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let me ask you this though: if for some he could just go hoop, but here's my question for you: if KD is not the number 1 guy, if he is not leading, and let's just say hypothetically, Detroit wins the championship, does that rewrite Kevin Durant's the outlook on Kevin Durant, the history of Kevin Durant?
No, because the history for Kevin Durant is already written. Like what I'm saying is the stain is on him for going to Golden State. I don't care that he was the best player on Golden State. You're supposed to be, because you single-handedly was about to beat Golden State when you were with your former team. So you were so clearly you freed it up so that you could have single coverage. That stain is on you. Had you won in Brooklyn, had you won with Phoenix, had you won with Houston, then yeah, I would have recognized your rings. But like my brain doesn't even think that Kevin Durant's a champion, even though I know that he is. If I saw him in person, I'd call him champ. I'd respect him. I don't have anything against KD. Like that was so long ago. And if KD doesn't leave the Thunder wouldn't have a ring today. Like
I agree. Listen, I'm gonna keep it a stack with you. I agree with that statement. And it's odd enough you say that because I think that I literally told somebody that same thing at the barbershop maybe 2 to 3 weeks ago. I said, and listen, maybe if KD and Russell stays there or whatever, I just know that I saw Russell stay and they didn't get a championship. I didn't see KD stay, but I saw him there, and it didn't happen. And when I came to the realization that without those Warriors rings, KD is another ringless all-time great player, though, right? And I think that just so happens to be he would have been with the Thunder, though, bro. So
but see
I don't know.
now if the Thunder this is the only way I think that would have changed, right? If the Thunder would have ran it back and they would have made Harden their third, right? Like no longer the sixth man of the year. He's starting now. Him, Russ, and KD, and they figured it out. And if that would have happened, like they would have ran it back with the chip on their shoulder that now we taking it to Golden State and Cleveland, then okay. But I'm saying there's more to it than just him leaving the Thunder because he left the Thunder for nothing. So that changed the way teams approach stars on their last leg of their contract now. So there's a lot of things that unfolded with him leaving the Thunder. So that's why with him leaving, that's the reason the Thunder got a championship. So with that being said, I don't have any ill will against Kevin Durant. Kevin Durant still is a Texas Longhorn. So it ain't like I got no smoke for him.
You don't look at Kevin Durant and immediately think NBA champion.
I just don't, bro. I don't. I really don't. And
So you
it's
say he
like I
got
said,
the real asterisk rings, huh?
to me, just as much as people say that about LeBron them
LeBron
winning in the
them.
bubble.
I
Yeah.
hate when people listen. I'm gonna be honest. I hate when people say that about LeBron, and maybe the reason why I hate when people say that about LeBron is because you and I talk about this a lot. When people say that about LeBron, it's because they're defending Jordan, right? It's the talk of Jordan. I think that when people say that about Kevin Durant, I think that the stain, the irremovable stain, is prior to that point we looked at you as a potential all-time great championship winning player on your own merit, right?
Mm-hmm.
And that's what did it. And don't get me wrong, I respect that he wanted to just go hoop. That's cool though, bro. Not the same though. Not the same. So I don't know, man. Let me ask you this: you brought up LeBron James, though, man. Where do you want to see LeBron go?
I want to see LeBron with the Warriors. This is why.
Mm.
He's still in California, so it wouldn't change up the life stuff. Like I get it. That's probably nowhere near LA and or whatever, but he has the means to helicopter or do whatever. He could make it home. You know what I'm saying? He can still be where he needs to be. The whole going back to Cleveland thing, I mean, if he does that, I'm not gonna be mad at that. But I think the only one that I would be like, is him going to Miami to play with Giannis.
You know what I think? I think for basketball reasons and basketball reasons only, I honestly believe, bro, that his best chance of winning a team after all these trades, I mean, after winning the championship, the best team, the Denver Nuggets, bro. And hear me out when I say this. Hear me out when I say this. So you got Joker out there. You still, and let's say and he's a free agent, so you don't gotta give up nobody. So you got Aaron Gordon out there. You got all of the guys that got them on up there. And I think that one of the big problems that I think that they had in with the Nuggets is point guard play. And so I think that when you have LeBron James, it removes that you don't have you got playmaking, right? And
Mhm.
I think that for basketball reasons, I think that LeBron would have a better chance of winning a championship after all of these trades by going with the Nuggets, though, bro. And I saw that the Joker basically said something about that he was holding off on contract extension talks or whatever. And maybe that's giving a little bit of room, you know what I'm saying, for LeBron and everything like that, some space. But I think that in the end, though, bro, I wouldn't be mad. It would look foreign because the Nuggets in Denver just isn't the sexiest place. But I think that for basketball reasons, he would. To me, it's like, all right, you know what? I think that they okay, put it like this. They'd have to go through the Thunder, put that on out there. And Joker has played well against the Thunder, right? I think that LeBron typically plays pretty good against the Thunder as well. And so when you think about it, you're gonna if you stay in the West, even when you're with the Warriors, you're gonna have to see Wemby. And with all things considered, I think that the Knicks showed us that hey, it isn't like it isn't such a ironclad thing, right? That oh, he's just here. I think that the Thunder made it look like that with Chet, but I think that all the other guys got guys, all right. And so I think that with all things considered, though, man, it's like, all right, considering that if you're in the West, yes, you're gonna have to go through the Spurs and the Thunder, and you almost already had the Timberwolves. So yeah, I think that so you got three teams you got to worry about. I think if LeBron goes to like Philly, I don't believe in Joel Embiid staying healthy long enough to stand upright long enough. And I think that what I told you about James Harden. Once you got James Harden on your team, it's automatically you ain't winning though, bro. So
Well,
I don't think that he would. And I think that, like you said, Miami, I don't think him and Miami parted on the greatest terms anyway. I don't think that Pat Riley has been the biggest LeBron James fan since he left. And I just couldn't see LeBron going back there, man.
nope, not after them cookies. Uh, the thing is that the Golden State thing, him, Porzingis, Draymond, Steph, I just think I like that. And then Jimmy should be back February, March ish. So I like that. I like all
I see it. I see it, but here's my thing. You still don't know what Jimmy's going to look like. And Steph is the only older player that I can see that hasn't lost that step. Like that
but if
from being what you typically see him do.
right, but if anybody, if I bet on anybody to come back and put in the work, it's Jimmy Butler. Like he he has a different engine. And so I just feel like he would come back and put in he would because at the same time they're gonna be all of them all them ONs ain't gonna make it, bro.
hey, 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 hey. This is the first time I've ever heard ON in that context, bro.
Yeah, I'm
I've
just saying.
heard listen, I've heard old heads and unks. I don't think that I've heard anybody refer to them as ON, so bro. And that is
Yeah,
hilarious. That is classic.
hey, the uns, bro. Yeah, you just gotta it's just one of them things like LeBron's gonna need some breaks throughout the year. Steph is gonna need some breaks throughout the year. Draymond can make it, but he gonna take his. Porzingis, he another one that's a toss up. But at the same time, I don't know. The Denver thing, I know you've been speaking that up into an existence, but I'm just like the only one that would really just be like, is the now, okay, let me ask you this. If he decided to go to New York, I know you said you would hate that.
Listen, if I'm gonna if LeBron James went to the New York Knicks, I'm changing my mind. I'm calling Jordan the GOAT. Jordan's the GOAT. if LeBron James goes to the Knicks, bro.
Is the LeBron James going to the Knicks like KD going to the Warriors?
For me, it is. For me, it is. Yeah, for me, it is. I think that the difference is that it's just maybe it's just for me for my own personal basketball reasons. Because here's the thing about it, it would be like I said, the reason why I hate the Knicks even that much more is because I've seen them do that before,
Mm-hmm.
right? I saw them. Larry Johnson was my favorite player, and I saw him go to the Knicks because they offered him the most money. I don't want to see another player that I absolutely love go to the Knicks, though, bro. And so for that reason, if he go there, I can't even root for LeBron for that season. I gotta wash my hands of him for that particular season, though, bro. It's the worst way to end your career to me by playing for the Knicks.
All right, bro. We already getting that tea. They say LeBron and Draymond meeting up right now. And
Hey,
then
listen,
they said Spider would be willing to embrace LeBron if he decided to come that way.
I don't want to listen, man. I don't want to see LeBron go to the Cavs. It for nostalgia reasons and for legacy. I see it, but listen. Okay, so let me ask you this though, bro. If if LeBron goes to the Warriors and the Warriors start
Mm-hmm.
Porzingis, Steph, Draymond, LeBron, and Jimmy Butler,
Well,
right?
you gotta take Jimmy Butler off for right now. So it'd probably be what's so
Pod,
yeah, I know what you're talking
Pazinski.
about. Yeah.
Okay, even then, right? I don't know who else they have on their roster, but those six guys, right? I think how many teams are you going to take over them though? Right. And I'm not trying to say for what they used to be in their prime. I'm talking about right now. Like to me, I've always been a believer that sometimes you can just get out OG. Right. And I know that sometimes the old heads don't sit in that seat like they used to, that they may lost a step, but they know how to win games, though, bro. And I just wonder I don't know that I would comfortably say, oh, yeah, they're going to beat the Warriors in 5. What? No way. I just don't think so.
I don't know. Like, I just think that Steph typically finds a way to win without LeBron. So to me, adding LeBron, they gonna find a way. And like I said, I'm just gonna bank on Porzingis being healthy. If he can be healthy, then I mean they're not gonna be. I still think that's a better team than what the Lakers were last year. And the Lakers last year was a 4 seed.
Yeah. Yeah. And listen, speaking of shoes, James Harden, they just showed a renderance of the James Harden first look at the 11s.
Mm-hmm.
That looks almost like the Giannis, the second Giannis shoes.
Mm-hmm. I need to see it. I
Uh,
mean, you said I'm at, oh, speaking of Sarah just sent me this. My play nephew they didn't sign he didn't sign the two-way with the Jazz.
is that the cat from
Trey Alexander from Creighton.
yeah. That's all good,
Yeah.
man.
I just recently saw him over the summer. He was at the graduation.
No, that's dope, man. That's real dope. Yeah. And what you got? Oh my gosh, listen, what you got good for the week though, man?
For the week, bro. Man, I have been stacking my songs. Like I'm starting to feel a little bit better. I still got a cough, but they gave me this new medicine, so I'm gonna try that. But I got 3 new songs that I got on rotation, bro, that I'm trying to get recorded as soon as I humanly possibly can. They just been on rotation, just trying to, get the cadence down and everything. And I'm real excited about these 3 songs. Like these 3 songs are gonna set me up for after this project is released. It's gonna let people know, like, oh, this boy Ace he got the juice. The juice. Like I ain't never heard this Ace before, and that's what I'm excited about. So I've been listening to them on rotation all day, these 3 songs. So I'm excited about them. Other than that, man, I got 2 soccer games Friday, Saturday, and then other than that, that's it. What about you?
Hey, listen, bro. So I'm pretty excited because music wise, right before we jumped on the pod, I had the boy PBR on, and I finalized his. We finalized his playlist, and now I'm tightening up the mixes on a couple of songs. I only have like there are minor tweaks that I need to make to the mixes on them, and then he recorded two today. Came and knocked them on out real quick, right? And then what's funny about that is that he got these other two songs that I can't lie, I've been dragging on doing the mix because I always laugh because I was telling the boy Ben, the Fresh Shake Boss, that if I'm not really feeling a song, like when I hear it, the initial one, then I'm like I was like, those are the songs that I gotta really do my best mixes on because by the end of the mix, I want to like the song, right? And so I have to do everything, I have to pull out all the stops on it and everything, right? So the boy PBR got these two songs. He was like, yeah, these are songs that I think that I'm excited about. I was like, what? Them two? So that's one thing. So I got him that I'm gonna knock on out. But in the meantime, I also got the Eight Balls project. His is I got his about it's about 70% done.
Mhm.
And I'm super excited for it though, man, just because I think that he got like his minor tweaks to it and everything like that, though, bro. And then here's a funny thing. I had PBR come through today, right? And he was like, "Yo, man," he said, "Doc, I think," he said, "I'm just surprised you ain't already done." And I'm like, "Well, shoot, bro, just because you said that, I did put out an EP a few months ago, though, right? The whole people over. That's the whole point of the EP. But one thing that was cool though, bro, is that I wound up I wound up letting him hear what I've been working on. He was like, "Oh my gosh." He's like, "Dog, listen, I'm not gonna lie to you. As another rapper, bro," he said, "it's very damn inspiring, though, bro. It is inspiring because he was just like, bro." He said, "It's inspiring to know that all of your projects have gotten better and better and better, and the fact that you know what I'm saying, like I'm still whipping up everything myself, though, bro." And he was like, "It's crazy." And here's the funny thing about it: the boy Ben said kind of the same thing. He was like, "Bro, I haven't heard you play something that I thought was whack. Everything is all gas." And here's my problem, though, bro. It also makes me nervous. I'm probably more nervous now to put this out than any other project, only because I know it's fire.
Mhm.
So the fire, it being fire, isn't even a question. It's fire, bro. And I'm prepared to stand on 50 Bibles and put my hand to God and say, I believe that this is as good as any rap project that's gonna come out. I believe that. But I think the part that makes me nervous though, bro, is like that it just because it's hot, that don't necessarily mean that that's enough. And I think that that's where I'm kind of concerned that is the rollout. I'm more concerned about the rollout of this more than any other project though, bro.
Well, we'll talk offline because I do think the rollout is going to be important because I think it's got to be different than what we've typically done in the past. Like we're gonna have to go into some routes about some stuff.
Yeah.
But like, so we'll talk about
Because
that
listen,
offline.
every song I already hear I can see it every song being red light, mic drop worthy. But on top of that though, man, it's just like tying the visuals for content, man. I think that what I'm mainly nervous about is creating and you know me, I'm someone who loves to be in front of the camera though, bro. So I think that creating the content isn't the problem. It's the creating the content that sticks though, right? Because I do believe that, like I said, every single song back to back to back. Like Drake was like mid, skip, skip. Ain't no mid, skip, skips on this one though, bro. And I honestly believe that though, man. We need to do
What
whatever we
did
can
you?
do. I'm trying to submit this project for the Grammys though, bro.
That's what I was saying. We got some stuff to talk about offline. Uh,
Yeah.
you listen to that Ti?
I did listen to the Ti, bro. I listened to the Ti, and listen, I listened to the Ti after I heard. Listen, I've heard. Okay, so I've heard the first time I saw somebody do a review of it, and this was before it came out. And these were some people from Atlanta. They got Atlanta podcasts, all right. And they said, "Listen, bro, this is equivalent to Kobe dropping 63 in the last game. They was just like, it's next level. It's this, that, and the other. It might be his best work. He saved the best for last and everything. Then the other thing is that I've heard the opposite, where people's like, yeah. If people wouldn't have said that much, I probably would have thought more of it. But they were just, a lot of people were just like, nah, I've heard T.I. got better albums than this, though, right? When I listen to it for myself, grade A rapping, bro. Grade A rapping. And this is one thing I think that's crazy. Because here's one of the things I think that I always trip out on. I think that immediately, right? I go to compare to Drake and Kendrick, right?
Yep.
Because
Yep.
they're the usually the
Standard
one A,
right now.
one B. They're the standard right now. And seeing that Ti hasn't put out any music on the regular, that's where I'm at with that. And I think that one of the things that I was very, very impressed with was just the rapping ability. Like it's just great rapping. And I think that, bro, off of, if I was giving it on a scale of 1 to 5, I'd give it like a 4.7. If it's a scale of 1 to 10, it's like 8.75. It's like close to a 9. But I also have given Drake's album, the rap album only, about the same, right? And I gave Kendrick's last album about the same. And I rated them the same, but for different reasons. But I think that this T.I. album is just as good as theirs, though, bro. It's incredible to me, though, man. I'm thoroughly impressed.
Do you think this is gonna be better than that Rick Ross album?
I'm just going to go out on the limb and say yes. And I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. But I'm just saying that I like the Ti that much. Like I'm talking about, like I read there are some albums, bro, that I've listened to that I was like, no, I'm not like there's the albums that I don't think that people would even believe the thing. Like I like Exhibit came out with an album, fire to me though, bro. Fire album though, man. It sounds very regional. It sounds very West Coast. Fire album. I thought that the Iceman, I liked it apparently more than a lot of people do. I like of course, I like the Kendrick more than other people. JID, I like that one. Cole. And so I've heard a lot of albums that I really like though, man. And this Ti though is up there. And I don't want to be a prisoner of the moment. I would have to listen to the Ross. And one thing, Ross, I know his production is going to be grade A. I think that what I appreciate about the Ti is that it's a fun album. He got the girl cuts, and they're radio friendly songs. He's talking about his usual trap stuff, but he got the swag him on it, and it's a very well rounded album though, bro.
Hey, that boy Pharrell produced some hits on there, bro.
I did, and you know what? The oddly enough, the Mr. Him, that's the song I don't particularly like out of that. It's like it's almost like it's a hit because I like Ti's rapping is one thing, but I think people like the beat because Pharrell did it. But the
Yeah,
beat
but
in itself is like,
that
yeah,
ain't the only beat he did though.
I know that. I like the first one that he did, but I didn't particularly like that Mr. Him beat. He did another one though that I liked though, man. But no, I listen, don't get me wrong. I in the grand scheme, like I understand totally where those songs fit in with the overall project. But no, it's incredible though, man. And what I think is pretty funny is that now I like this old Atlanta bass music style beats, right? That everybody's doing. So Ti got that on there. Oddly enough, the Fresh Eight Boss got one like that on his. PBR got one like that on his. And I like those kind of songs, though, bro. And Ti does it just right, though, man. It's not overly rapidy rap, but it's just enough, though, man. He got the right feature on it. It's very Atlanta, though, man. But like his project is, I'm talking about, very tastefully done, though, bro. Very tasteful.
Yeah. You did you are you caught up on House of the Dragon?
Listen, I haven't even started watching it yet. Yes, and I'm planning to do it today, but I wanted a few episodes to stack up. That's the reason why.
I think there's
Yeah,
four. I want to say there's four.
yeah, yeah. I wanted them to stack up though, man. And I almost started watching it last night, but I didn't. But I was like, let me let it stack. But I'm
All
probably
right.
gonna watch it today though.
Did you finish the Vader? I mean, finish the
Cole, 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 bro. And listen, I have been telling you for some years now that one of the things that I always wanted to see was a younger Vader be just completely ruthless. And we saw that on Obi, right? When he went through and he was walking down that village out there looking for the boy Obi-Wan. And so when I saw this, how they rode him out there, how they brought him out there, Cole, when the girl was like, oh, it's somebody out there, it's somebody out there, and you see her just get drugged out of nowhere, and then you just hear the zoom, zoom. I was like, I could have woke everybody up if they was like, oh no, bro. And then what I loved about it is this though, right? You know, it's like when he like you told me before that the older Vader that we saw was him using the force, so he's pushing people. And this one I love his sword fighting on there, though, right? It's like he was so fast that while all of them are jumping up and down, doing all this other stuff, he's there with it. Bing, 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 bing. Cold though, bro. Cold. I absolutely loved it though, man. The ending of it.
Did you see how Maul sacrificed that one Jedi?
Oh, yeah. I expected that though.
Yeah.
Yeah, but no, it was incredible though, bro. Like I said, you talk about like all on the because you see, I watched the first Maul and I fell asleep on the first episode like 3 times. And then after that, it picked up to me really quick. And then because the episodes are pretty short, I kind of went through them in a very, very short period though, bro. But now the last like 4 episodes was creme de la creme though, bro. Yeah.
Well, that's what's up. Well, yeah. I'm on episode. I haven't watched this week's House of the Dragon, so that's what I'm probably gonna get into tonight. And then, that's about it.
Yeah, no,
right,
I'm
bro.
trying to go ahead and peep it. Trying to go ahead and check it out now tonight, though, man.
That's what's up. Well, yeah, let me know because the first episode you gonna have something to say about it. So that's why I'm just like, that's why I'm glad I ain't say nothing. So yeah, we get this season. We getting to what you like. That's all I'm gonna say. So yeah.
Okay, bet. All right, I keep you posted there, man.
Yeah. Well, look, we are the Slash Brothers, ATL to OKC, and join us every Tuesday, 6:00 p.m. Central Standard Time or Central Time, whatever you want to call it. And we out. We ain't even play the theme music in the beginning.
We ain't even play the music.
It doesn't matter what your name is.
The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast of all time. The Slash Brothers Podcast, the greatest podcast.
Can you dig it, sucker?